This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 train. The next stop is
Wall Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Not Your Advisor with NYU Grad on Tuesday, July 1st. If you have not heard the term paint the tape, it doesn't really exist, quote unquote, but it sure feels that way. It's obviously a shortened holiday, July 4th week here in the US, and everything is going higher. So I hope you enjoy the image credit by Gemini with all of the top NASDAQ traded tickers being tagged up on the NYSE building here on Wall Street. I am going to jump into the markets. Just a little bit of quick housekeeping and current events. So obviously with the market being closed on Friday, there won't be a podcast. However, I will be uploading, resharing some prerequisite material from past writings and podcasts for paying and free subscribers this week. Please check that out. I do expect to do a podcast up until Thursday, July 3rd. I want to welcome all of the new paid subscribers as well as free subscribers. Thank you very much. And moving on to current events, there are two very important news items that I wanted to share in the market that I think is worthy of your attention. And it's not the whole I'm going to deport Elon Musk stuff. So the first one is by Michael Spencer, who is a renowned Substack writer for AI technology. I saw a note that he posted that Amazon is now basically nearly as many robots as human workers in its warehouses globally. In Europe, it's like 75% of international shipments now involve robots. Well, that's a problem. It's not a problem if you're an owner of capital or owner of Amazon stock, but it is a problem when you're training your replacement and it's going to replace all human life. Again, I don't want to stand on my soapbox too long, but all of these robots, all of these humanless checkouts, although I do like humanless checkouts at like some stores like Whole Foods, but like, salads being made by robots at Sweet Green, and all of this AI, robotic taxis, like no one asked for this. These are all the visions of visionaries in Silicon Valley and DC that are forcing this future upon us for profits. But just know Amazon, you should probably own Amazon stock because in 100 years, Amazon's probably going to win. The second bit of news is by Melody Wright, who I follow. I also recommend you subscribe to. She talks about the credit crisis that's brewing right now with delinquencies intensifying across all credit spectrums, whether it's buy now, pay later, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, and mortgages. So she and her guests go through that. I've linked that YouTube video. I consume a lot of content. I'm telling you, when it comes to mortgages and credit, Melody, by far, from what I've consumed, is unmatched. So check out her page, her YouTube, her Substack. I highly recommend it. And this is just a self-plug. If you are a free subscriber or a Notes follower, my discount ends July 7th at midnight. It comes to 51 cents per day. I don't know many things that cost that little anymore. And you will, I can't guarantee it, but most likely, if you have 1/3 of a brain, you're probably going to be profitable on that investment / trade. I have subscribers that are up thousands of percent, hundreds of percent on some of these setups that I've shared. I don't take credit because the subscriber still has to pull the trigger. It's their hard-earned money. They have to move that money from somewhere else. They made the call to pull that trigger, but we are making money with the Substack content. So that ends July 7th at midnight. I'm not going to offer that discount probably till next July or ever again. So let's move on to the markets. So the Dow ripped higher, up 400 points, near 1%. But the problem is the NASDAQ ripped lower 166 points, or 0.8%. So what is going on? The S&P closed red. I want to preface that volumes are anemic. Okay? To give you a sense, the SPY traded at 61 million shares today, which is well below the daily average of 83. And we were at 40 million like at 3 p.m. So this is just tepid, anemic volume. Taking a quick look at the, I know this is a little bit off format, taking a quick look at the Mag 7, it was mostly a red bag. Apple and Amazon were green, but all other Mag 7 were red. So Microsoft down 1.08%, Nvidia down almost 3%, Tesla down 5.3% off of the news of deportating Elon, or let's take a look at the government subsidies, etc. Meta down 2.5%, Google down 0.2%, Amazon was up 0.5%. Congratulations, Jeff Bezos and Sanchez. And Apple up 1.29%. Back to the regular format, we had 696 new highs on the NYSE versus 104 new lows. 55% advanced versus 42% declined. 23% of stocks were below their 50-day on the NYSE, and 41% were below the 200-day moving average today. Looking at sectors, basic materials, the stuff that makes your foot go ouch if you drop it, up 1.4%. That's the leading sector. Healthcare up 1%, like UNH. A lot of these companies are in the Dow, thus the Dow outperforming. Consumer defensive up 0.75%, real estate 0.64%, financials up 0.5%, energy up 0.4%, industrials 0.3%, consumer cyclical up 0.3%, utilities up 0.25%. What was down? Technology down 1%, communication services down 1%. That is like the macro view of the day. Hopefully this serves much better than headlines you see on CNBC and Bloomberg. A lot of folks won't give you the context. And again, another plug, my whole mission with this podcast is to give you the daily download of the market in less than 15 minutes, no ads other than my self-plugs, and no politics. Well, I don't talk much about politics. It's usually when I do, it's very neutral or I'm just poking fun at both sides. Taking a quick look at profitable companies in the NASDAQ, making new highs. There were 14, including names like Robinhood and Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory has been on this list every day for the past few days. I guess people are doom eating. I don't get it. I haven't eaten at Cheesecake Factory since high school, since the 90s. But just taking a quick snapshot of their menu, just their salads, the average calorie count is over 1,000 calories on just their salads. My gosh, their pastas are like 3,000 calories. Anyway, so let's move over to the strong and weak in the S&P and the NASDAQ. It was a mixed bag, as I noted. So I'll rapid fire. These are all percentages, okay? Builders First Source up 9.4. You had Las Vegas Sands up 8.9. Wynn Resorts 8.8. Packaging Corp of America 7.9. MGM Resorts 7.4. Hershey's Chocolate Food 6.3. Smurfit. Do Does anyone know what they do? 6.2, LyondellBasell Industries. This is the first time I'm even saying that out of my mouth in all of my life. Up 6%. Dow Incorporated, that's the chemical company, up 5.7. International Paper, oh, that must be AI, right? Up 5.7. Target, 5.6. Estee Lauder's Vanity Stocks, 5.3. JB Hunt Transport, 5.3. GM, 5.25. Hasbro, 5.1. Best Buy, 5.1. Eastman Chemical, 5.1. And Nextera, 5. In the NASDAQ, Amgen, a lot of healthcare, 4.1. Starbucks, 3.8. Old Dominion Freight, 3.8. Biogen, 3.6. Global Foundries, 3.4. Packard, 3.3. Lululemon, 3.2. Kraft Heinz. Ketchup, 3.1. And condiments. To the downside, you had Axon Enterprise, down 7.3%. GE Vernova, 5.7. Williams Companies, 5.7. Discovery, 5.3. Howmet Aerospace, 5. Constellation Energy, 4.8. Vistra Energy, 4.7. Expand Energy, 4.7. Insulet Corp, 4.6. Palantir, 4.3. Dexcom, 4.3. Tesla, 4.2. EQT, 4.3. And Broadcom, 4.2. In the NASDAQ, I'll try to dedupe. Axon, 7.1. MicroStrategy, 6.5. Mercado Libre, 4.5. AppLovin, 4.16. So that's just a macro view of the Tuesday market. Let's move on to the macro and the important Mag 7. I have a few key updates on those stocks.
We can't forget that this is just a small taste of the in-depth analysis that Not Your Advisor provides. They don't just throw numbers at you. They connect the dots, find those hidden trends, and help you understand what's driving the markets.
If you want the full picture, you got to check out the full Not Your Advisor episode.
Don't forget to subscribe to notyouradvisor.com.
And all their premium content. I mean, it's like having a direct line to what's really going on in the market.
It is. It really is. They cut through all the BS and give you the kind of info that you just won't find anywhere else.
Think about this. Investing is all about making decisions that work for you and your goals. You're the one in control.
Not Your Advisor can give you the map, but you choose where you want to go.
And with that empowering thought, we'll sign off. Happy investing.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.